Yeah. Why? You look both cute, Bronwyn.
Who looks cute?
You.
Oh, yay, thanks. This is called Bronwyn hasn't taken off her work makeup, but is in pajamas. Bronwyn hasn't taken off her work makeup,
I love
but
it.
is
I
in
respect it.
pajamas. Thank you. I brought back the big duck because I figured it would be needed today.
Mm. Good thought.
Yeah.
And pull up my character sheet. Mr. Silver.
You are lying to yourself.
Okay. Ben, I have a question. I have a spell called Zone of Truth. And if I cast it, does the creature know that I cast it on them?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, it's explicitly stated that they're aware of the spell. Okay. Hello, Jenny.
And hello.
Hello.
Hello, gorgeous.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've been ready all week.
Well, okay, so first of all, a slight rule change. A rule change about y'all reviewing streams, not actual like in-game rules. I am just gonna do my damnedest to not put spoiler material on screen, so y'all can actually rewatch. Which everyone's face is gonna be on it. We're all okay with that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So currently we are all live to the world. So the only thing I'll say is don't watch the session while we're playing, because if I pull up an encounter, sometimes there will be concealed enemies and such. So that will be spoilery, but only in the moment, because, well, I'll just have to be even more careful about concealed enemies, because there is the chance that y'all don't see the concealed enemy at all. So I'll try to be good about that. So let's see. Where are we? Any questions before we start?
Not offhand.
That's about it.
Alright, figured not. So, it is the morning of the execution of the Yuan-Ti prisoner who was captured the day prior. I believe right now Henry is on his way to see Father Uthgart. Call is in their barracks, and Ren is in his room. So, first off, Call or Rin, is there anything y'all are going to do in the early hours of the morning? Which, in case, I'm pretty sure I said it to everybody, but the execution is scheduled for like 3 p.m.
Ren wanted to stop by and see Barnabas real quick if he's in his office.
Okay.
And Call wants to check on Seymour and see how he's doing.
Okay. Let's actually do Seymour first. He has been given the day off, and is just kind of blanket over the shoulders, sitting in his bed with kind of rotating people coming to check in on him. Mostly Percy and Arnold, but just about everybody cares about the guy, and so they come in and, talk about anything but what is happening. So yeah, is there anything specific you wanted to do?
No, just be part of the rotating cast over the course of the morning. Call has a bunch of little things that they'd like to do in the morning, but none of it is stuff that really needs to be RP'd. It's just, reread the letter that they drafted to their mom and see if it's ready to send and that sort of thing.
Alright. Then, if we're good there, we will move to Ren going to Barnabas.
Okie
If we ever come to something that y'all want to be kept secret, let me know. But there are some bits that I am going to conceal myself. Speaking of which, if you watch back the Twitch stream, try to skip over the bits that you weren't part of. Spoilers.
Okay, will do. So I guess Ren goes to Barnabas' doors to see if he's there. I don't know what time it is exactly. I missed that.
At this point, it's probably about 9 a.m.
Okay. Yeah, he'll go knock on Barnabas' door.
Alright, he answers the door, a little surprised to see you again so soon, but gestures for you to enter the room.
Okay. Ren goes in. I'm imagining he's had some time to compose himself after initially reading the letter.
Mm-hmm.
So he's holding onto it, and he's gonna say, "Good morning. I'm sorry for bothering you again so soon. I'll try and make this quick and not take up too much of your time. I received a letter from High Power Kenda, and I just wanted to see if you had been aware of this or approved this." And so he's gonna, yeah.
He's going to say, I didn't do any approving. May I read the letter?
Yes. So Ren's gonna pass Barnabas the letter.
Okay. If you want to read his face while he is reading the letter, you are going to need to make an insight check.
Absolutely. That's a 1.
You
Start.
Scary horseman is reading letter.
Okay.
He finishes and kind of folds the letter back to its original state when you first received it, and just says, it is within her right to make this request both of you and in general of requesting to study the body after execution.
Thank you very much for seeing me, sir. see myself out.
All right.
Ren wants to go now.
Oh, side note. Sorry to interrupt, but Call does over the course of the morning want to try the nursery rhyme again if we get the opportunity.
Okay.
So whenever we can slide that in.
Sure. What is Ren? Where's Ren headed after this meeting?
After this, he wants to go check on Henry and Call just to like see how they're doing. But I guess that can wait for whatever else we want to do.
Yeah, we're gonna be switching around a lot.
Yeah.
This session. Henry is going straight to the library, right? Okay. We will get that after, or we're gonna go ahead and let Call try that. So just make an investigation check for me, please.
Sounds good. 12.
12. Okay. Okay. I need to pull up somebody's notes to. I need to remind myself exactly what you learned last time, so I'm going to pull up. Who has like a transcript of that encounter in their notes?
We pretty much all do.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was from last time?
Yes, it would have been last time.
Yeah.
I did not transcribe last
Decoding,
time.
I said that there are some words or phrases that don't make sense, but we're able to make out something about fire, something about gas, not sure how they're related though, and synchronization, timetable, and how to activate multiple things at once.
Okay. So I believe that you got that from a 9.
Yes.
Because you rolled a 1, but you have +8. So with a 12, you learn of a kind of alchemical spell that works in conjunction with the things activating at the same time. So it is a spell that allows you to activate these things without physically touching them. And that's all the extra you're really able to make out this time.
Thank you.
It is rather obvious to you that the spell requires these objects that activate all at once. Like those have to be made specifically for the spell to work on them as well. So it's like at this point, even if you could do magic, you wouldn't be able to do this spell because you don't know how to make these synchronized objects. Okay. So with that, who is Ren trying to find first? I can't. I think you're muted.
Let's see. Actually, he did just see Henry. He might go try and check on Call.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go to Henry, with his talk with going to the library.
All right. So, we saw when Ren and Henry went to the library before to get books for Oren. We saw Father Uthgard there. I think Henry would go wherever we last saw Father Uthgard.
Okay. So that would be at the library itself.
Yeah.
Okay. just make a perception check, kind of, for on the way and first arriving.
7.
7. Okay. So you go to where you last saw him, which was kind of a desk that's in like the main library area. He is not there, but there is a different kind of attendant-looking gnome who is standing on a stool, just kind of flipping through some pages on the desk.
I think I go up to them and say, "Excuse me."
He looks up at you.
Hi. I'm looking for Father Usgart, or maybe somebody else who's well versed in the religion of some obscure people groups.
Um, okay. So he give me an insight check.
That one.
Okay. Um, he
He's strong
is
today, guys.
he is standing on a stool. Um, uh, he says, I am sorry. Father Uthgard is actually very busy at the moment, still searching through the inventory um, from the break-in, and then he kind of like he makes a face that you have no idea what it means. He says, but I actually I specialize uh, in more obscure religions. Which ones were you looking for?
Oh, do you know anything about the religion of Yuan Ti?
Um, he shuffles some papers around and brings one up to his face where he puts on some spectacles as well. And he like kind of is searching for a second. He says, yes, actually. Uh, the Yuan Ti worship three different gods that have kind of different roles within their society. They well, there are three major gods and many, many, many minor gods. I suppose the easiest explanation is that um, their their gods all take serpentine forms. They see the serpentine body as close to godliness. Their religion kind of is they worship the deity that they believe can give them the most power, so they can become strong enough to then eat said deity and become them. Um, but three of their major gods, kind of the most worshipped, that depending on who you ask may or may not have been eaten already. Um, one of them is Dendar, the night serpent, um, and the Yuan-Ti believe that he feeds on the fear of other sentient races, and so their purest form of worship is to instill fear in any and everything that they can come find. Um, the chief deity of the Yuan-Ti is Mershok. He's reading it off of this piece of paper and kind of makes a face. And he's like, I'm not entirely sure that's the way it's pronounced, but but he has long since been considered to be sleeping, um, and they believe that well, as many human, sorry, not just human, humanoid sacrifices are necessary to awaken him from his slumber, and then he will restore the Yuan-Ti to their rightful place. Um, and third, and kind of the largest known religion of the Yuan-Ti, uh, present day at least, is the worship of the god Seth. That's spelled with two S's. Um, known as the Sibilant Death. Uh, Seth appears as the ancient form of Yuan Ti, which is winged. And when he appeared, he claimed to be an avatar of Mershok, spoke with his voice, and vowed to pull the Yuan Ti out of decline. Now, there is a bit of conflict between those who worship Seth and those who worship Mershok. Worshippers of Mershok claim that Seth is either trying to or has eaten Mershok, and it gets a little complicated. But the widest spread Yuan Ti religion is that of Seth, the Sibilant Death. Other than that, I suppose one of the most prominent things to know of them is their society is set up of a three-part caste. At the top is a Yuan Ti aberration, which is much more serpent than humanoid, but often will have human arms, although scaled. So not human arms, but arms on a snake body. All forms of Yuan Ti of any caste have natural magical powers, and they tend to make rather powerful sorcerers. So the aberrations are least humanoid, having maybe arms, maybe legs, usually not both. After that is the Malison, which usually is a much more humanoid body, often with a snake's head, although sometimes a snake's tail instead of legs, and a humanoid head. The humanoid head version is often seen as lesser. And then the lowest caste is the Yuan Ti pureblood. I'm not sure why they're called purebloods and then seen as the lowest caste, but they are the most humanoid in nature, often only having scales on certain parts of their bodies. Sometimes they have fangs. They often have slitted serpent's eyes. It is difficult, seeing one fully out in nature. It is often rather easy to note them as Yuan Ti. The scales are not very easily hidden, and of course the eyes or fangs would be rather noticeable to most. I could get much more specific, but is that along the lines of what you wanted?
That was very helpful. Thank you. But something else that I was wanting to know is um, what do they think of death if it's not um, like being killed for their power, for the TD's power? Like, what would they want in terms of before death rites and then also after death rites? Like, do they want their bodies burned or returned to a certain place, or do they can make any sort of confessions or anything like that?
Um, he kind of rifles through his papers a little bit and then says, um, no one really knows what happens with aberrations' bodies. Usually, they're those subservient to them, either Malison or purebloods, will take the body away. We are not sure what they do with it. The Malisons usually are interred in the earth. I'm sorry, I really don't have much as far as this for the purebloods, they. What I have here seems that of their own race, they don't show much love for each other. So I don't know much about after death rites. They do. Um, I don't believe they have any overly negative view on death. I believe they see death as failure, as many different races do, of not achieving one's goals. But I see no note of any specific uh, rights.
Um, okay. Thank you. Um, are there any, do you know if there's any known like UNT cities or settlements?
Oh no, certainly not. Any known Yuan-Ti settlements are usually seen as a danger, especially if there is an aberration or malison present. They are often aggressive, and they uh, they will prey on wandering travelers. If they have large enough population, they often invade towns or even cities. Um, any discovered Yuan-Ti townships or gatherings is usually met with force.
I think Henry is immediately critical of that, and he's like, "Oh, do you know when the most recent show of force from UNT has been? Anything in recent history?"
Um, hmm, uh, I don't believe there's anything within Storad since its uh, since its founding. Um, although I believe there was actually an incursion in Faerun that led to the death of many elves. I believe it was 30 years ago or something. I remember reading that the death count was high. Um, Sadly, I don't have the actual report of that on hand. It would probably take me a while to find it, so I don't know the exact numbers or even the full story behind it. But that is the most recent conflict that I know of.
Um, would you mind looking for it? You know, it doesn't have to be right now, but um, I would like to read it if that's okay. And also, I would
Oh
also like
yes.
to know more about the one of the inception of Storad.
Oh no, no. I'm sorry. There has not been one.
Oh, there is not one at all. Okay, I
Yeah,
thought you were saying
there
like there
has
was
never
one at the
been an
beginning,
incursion.
but
No, never. There has
okay,
never been a Yuan-Ti incursion within Storad.
okay,
Also, Storad has only existed for some 80, not even 80 years.
okay. Well, thank you very much for your help.
Of course. I will try to find that. Uh, it being a military report, I would not be able to send it out to you. So if you could just come back in a day or two and check in, I may have found it. I'm honestly not sure how long it will take me.
Okay. And I am so sorry. What was your name? I should have asked before I started asking all these questions.
Farin,
Very nice to meet you, Farron. I am Henry.
nice to meet you, Henry. Um, Give me another
Okay.
insight check real quick.
Okay. Gonna use different dice. 13.
Uh, He looks absolutely cheery that someone has come in and talked to him in his area of expertise.
That's really cute. Well, I think I give a little bow and say, "Well, I'll see you in a few days. Have a good day," and then leaves.
He returns the bow.
Can
Okay.
you send the spelling of his name in chat so I can have it written down?
I would appreciate the spelling of all of those names you.
Oh, yeah, there were a lot in there. Just real quick, these are the gods. Those are the Yuan-Ti gods. The upper caste is just Yuan-Ti abomination. The middle caste is Malison
Aberration or aberration?
abomination.
Abomination.
I believe I may have said the wrong thing. I apologize. But I'm reading it out of the book right now. It is abomination. Were there any other names that y'all needed spelling?
I was abbreviating UNT as YT, and it just looks like white.
You TikTok speller.
Like UNT, YT, okay. Oh god.
Context Jenny on TikTok. They spell white people as YT people.
I'm always confused by that because I think it's YouTube.
Me too. That's what I thought too.
Okay. No other spelling requests.
But I think one more is the god Seth is known as the sibilant death. The what death?
Let me get it. Sibilant.
Isn't it Sibilant?
Mm-hmm.
Look at me, I can spell things. The definition of that is making or characterized by a hissing sound. Use the hissing death. It just sounds cooler if you use the word sibilant.
The
Snake is a
the snake god is the hissing death. Who the snake god that appears as literally a giant snake with arms and wings. Okay. So Henry, where is Henry headed?
Okay, so Henry is going to then Henry feels a little bit still kind of frazzled because he doesn't really know what to do. So I think he's going to write a quick letter from some of the paper and pens he has in his pocket, and then send that. Like go to the whatever post office to send it, and then he's gonna go to the prison to see the accused.
Okay. Just so everybody knows how this works, in major cities there is a kind of guild / business that is just like a group of people that often travel to different major cities, and it's a mail service. It's not run by the government. What they do is they get a physical description of the recipient and their name, and then you pay them to take the letter, and then they sell the letter to someone else who then delivers it to your recipient, who will then buy it from the person that bought it from the guild. It's very name of the wind. But there is this guild that like specializes in sending it from major city to major city. And with that, I believe Ren was going to Call's barracks.
Yeah. He and Henry have been showing up at the barracks a lot. He hopes that the dozen aren't getting sick of them. I mean, they like Henry, of course. Henry made a friend there. Um, but yeah, I guess he'll knock on the door, and try and yeah, he'll just knock on the door.
At this point, let me make a quick list of who's going to be there. So Esley is there. Obviously, Call is there. Seymour is there. I'm going to say that's actually it at this point. Yeah. So at this point, Call is the closest to the door, so I would assume they would answer.
Yep. Calls could just go and go, oh, morning. Hey, how's it going?
Good morning. I just Henry just stopped by, and I just wanted to check base with you and see if you were doing okay.
Yeah, come on in. Call's gonna lead the way over to their bunk, and assuming that Ren is going to want to check in on Truffle while he's there, Call's gonna yeah, Call's gonna just pull out Truffle while they start talking. Because everyone's gotta socialize with the bunny. But Call's just kind of gonna lean back against their bunk and just go, I am tired. I am very, very tired. Nothing has stopped since we've gotten back. And I just need the world to stop rotating for a moment. Things are moving too quickly for me to process anything that happened 2 events before. I am playing a long game of catch up, and there is no end in sight. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing fine. I just know today is going to be extremely shitty, and I just wanted to let you know that I'm here if you need anything, and I'm gonna let Henry know the same thing. I already talked to Henry, but I'm gonna check in with you guys later again too. I know we all have things to do, so I don't want to really get in the way, but and he's gonna kind of go. Sorry.
We all have things to do?
Yeah, I have to check in with Kenda this afternoon, but that won't be too complicated. He's also gonna like glance at Seymour like in a silent like how's he doing kind of gesture.
He is in a ball. You can see his closed eyes outside of the blanket, and that is it.
All right.
He's doing his best he can.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think there's any way for this day to go well. So I guess the question is just minimizing damage, emotional or otherwise.
I think you're right, unfortunately.
Are you sure you're okay though?
I'm okay. Today will be terrible, but there will be tomorrow, and that's what I'm focusing on. So we still have things we need to do, and I'm trying to just focus on that right now.
I understand. I hate this waiting game beforehand. I hate when things are in the middle of an afternoon because I feel like they eat up my whole morning before I can get to it. So I've been trying to occupy my time, and I've had limited success. I made a little more progress on that nursery rhyme in the book, but I still haven't been able to translate it all the way. And I should probably send some post, but I feel like I feel like there's just something looming and there's nothing I can do about it, and just sitting around waiting is making me so antsy.
Do you want to show me what you have on the nursery rhyme?
Sure.
Like, partially he's trying to, like, distract Call, and partially he's trying to, like, okay, like, we need progress on this, too, so he's gonna just ask them see what they have.
Carl's gonna go ahead and show Ren.
While y'all are doing this, you hear the thrum of throwing knives, and Estley is at the far back of the room, just throwing knives into the wall. And she has 5 of them. She throws all 5, pulls them out, goes back to where she was standing, and throws all 5, just kind of on repeat. It's tearing up the wall a little bit, but
And kind of gives her a glance, too, and then back to Call, like, is she okay, too? Like, I know no one's okay. Like, I know no one's okay, but, like, can I do anything? Like, he's just trying to, like, be can I do anything guy right now.
Estley has not spoken to you since the news came in.
Yeah, Carl's just
Or
gonna
anyone, really.
kind of give it a leave it alone gesture. Yeah, no one in the Dustin's having a really great day. No. Carl is also at this point going to probably, because Carl is incapable of keeping things private or secret, going to turn to Ren and be like, so I drafted a letter to my mom. Do you want to tell me if I sound insane?
Sure.
Okay. So, I don't have it yet, so we can't, like, actually, RP that moment, but Carl is going to give the letter to Ren to review.
Alright.
Okay.
Just that they don't sound crazy, or that they're not leaving out anything important.
Give Ren's, like, general response, or, like,
Absolutely.
wait for it to be drafted. Okay.
How about a first draft? Call manage.
Wait, do we need to roll to see how bad Call's first draft is? Or,
okay,
like...
here's what we're gonna do. Bronwyn, will you roll a performance check for me? But don't say your answer out loud. DM it to me. And Ren, I want you to roll insight for me.
Gotcha. Okay.
Alright.
Uh-oh.
No blow on my dice, please.
They're very pretty.
Thank you.
Alright. What's
Yeah, you guys need to blow on Big Duck. Big Duck is not. Thank you. Thank you. For the folks at home, it's a duck.
And what did Ren get on that insight? Oh, okay. Oh, God. It's
No
bad.
idea
It's bad.
The letter's bad?
It not start over from square one bad, but like heavy revision. Heavy revision.
Okay.
Don't send this
It is
letter.
the first draft bad.
Okay. It is first draft bad. Okay.
It's like 0.5 draft bad.
Okay. Um, Ren is going to be very gentle. He's going to actually start by asking Call questions like, okay, is this how you wanted to word this? Is this, what you wanted to say? Just extremely gentle, asking questions kind of thing, not criticizing.
You're like a page into the letter, and Call has not mentioned that they are the one writing.
Ren's going to point that out. Like,
I did not roll that low, did I?
I'm sorry, just for comedic effect. I'm sorry. It's
my
not
God,
that
yeah.
bad.
That general
It
kind of
wasn't a
thing.
one.
Oh man, I really really wanted you to roll higher than Ren's insight, because that was gonna be great. But
So curious what would have happened then.
um, oh man. Okay, but so yeah, revisions and advice on letter.
Okay. Very gentle the whole time. Just Call's having a rough time. He's going to be aware of that. So, or I'm sorry, Ren's going to be aware that Call's having a hard time. Yeah. Anyway.
Thank you. Well, that's a good way to distract them from the tasks of the day.
All right. Is there anything else y'all wanted to do immediately?
Not immediately.
So are y'all going to hang out together for a while, or at least for now?
Ren does want to try and check in on Henry again, if that's possible. But if Henry's already gone to the absolution, that might be a thing.
Yeah. Make. Let's see. Okay. Actually, the even if Ren knew where Henry was, you don't have access to the dungeons to get to him. So like you
Yeah.
could search around if you want to, but with Henry has already gone to the dungeons, so you either won't be able to find him or won't be able to get to him, even if you knew exactly where he was. So.
Okay. Ren will stay put then.
Alrighty. So with that, we're gonna say goodbye for a minute, and it's gonna be me and Asher for a bit.
Okay.
So let's just
Bye, guys.
hop over to private.
Hello.
Hello. I am going to take a very quick moment to. Yeah, it's not okay. We won't have face cams for this bit. Um,
Okay.
uh, just because I don't want to mess with it. So, um, you arrive to the gates of the dungeon. There are two guards standing rather at attention. They are both human.
Um, I think I go up. Can I make an insight check?
Sure, yeah.
23.
Um, they look like they very recently got a very severe talking to of maintaining security of the highest level.
Um, so then I go up to them and I don't mince words. I go, and I immediately take out the letter with the seal on it from Second Brother Eurydius, and I say, "Hello, I am here to do the absolution for the accused who is going to be executed today, and so I would like to go and talk to him."
One of the guards takes the paper and is reading over it, and the other one looks at you and says, "The execution isn't until this afternoon. Do you need to be here this early?"
When I was given the assignment, I was told that I could just do it right before, but I don't think that that is fair to any sentient person to wrap up their life in front of a whole crowd of people who hate them. And so I'm just here to give him as much time as he needs to conclude his life before it's the end of it.
The
So I
one
might be leaving, but
the one with the paper kind of like shows it to the other one that's talking to you and kind of points at it, and he nods for a second and says, "All right, you're allowed in. Don't pass anything to the accused." And they separate and open the door to the dungeons.
where is it, sorry, me asking you, Ben, is it like obvious where he's gonna be? Do I just go down there and look for him, or
There is only one pathway down for a little ways, like it doesn't split for a little while, and you know that there will be other guards within. So we are actually going to bring up a map just in cases. So let me get that open real quick. Um, bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Just a moment. Let's not do that. Let's do yes. Then we'll do this. Alrighty. Um,
how am I gonna be able to see it?
you should be able to go to the same link that we've been using for Dungeon Fog the whole time. Dungeon Fog the whole time.
Don't have that still up.
I can.
So let me open it. Here, I think it's in game links though, so let me just go.
It is in game links, yes. Um, the map. Why?
I have to log in, and it's not autofilling.
Hmm. The map is also not working exactly as it's supposed to. So, like, everything is black for some reason. Um,
Get into LastPass.
um, why is it all black?
I'm just gonna try doing it in Safari and see if that works. In Dungeon Fog. Go though.
Um, try clicking the link again now that you have access to Dungeon Fog.
Oh, I copied Jenny's. I didn't copy yours for some reason. That was dumb.
works out that Call and Ren are together so that they can have role-playing
Stupid
conversations while
drama.
we're... Okay. Just... Okay, accept. Okay, can you see anything?
Black.
Can you see? Is it
It's
all
like
just black? All entirely black?
yeah, like it hasn't loaded yet.
Oh, it's still loading. Okay. I might have to close out of it and open it again anyway, because it's like all of the rooms that I built are just showing black floor. Like all of the props and tokens that I added are there, but it's just black floor.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna close out. I'm gonna go to Dungeon Fog.
If you're closing out, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save and reopen this.
Okay, now it says Henry. So it probably is gonna work now.
Oh, okay, and the room is working.
It,
Boom, 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 boom.
this is being recorded, right? So I can go back and look at it.
This is being recorded, yes.
Awesome. Okay, it's still just okay. Now it's loading. Okay,
Are you in a narrow hallway?
I am in a narrow hallway. I see one guard behind me.
Okay. Darn, you
I
can't.
can't. I can't.
Oh, I don't think I've allowed you to move yet. 1 second. All right, you should be able to move now.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Oh, hello.
A lot of guards. All right. Yeah.
Okay, well, they're sitting and eating. Are they just talking?
Yeah, they're just talking and drinking.
Okay. I think I go. I see this guy, and I go up and talk to him and say, "Hello. I am here to do the absolution of the prisoner who is to be executed later today. Can you tell me where he's being held?"
This guard is a dwarf, as
Oh,
like you, and he. You actually notice that not the guards at the table; they're kind of assorted. This guard, the one further to the west, you see the one in the green and black?
yeah.
Okay, that is a dwarf woman, and then further to the left, you see another guard that has exactly the same image. That one is also a dwarf. Like so, this little area is all dwarves. The one that you just spoke to just gestures to the door that is next to the dwarven woman. And let me see if I can do this.
I think I say thank you very much, and I just go over to that cell, and I see him.
You can see him?
See the boy. See the boy
Okay.
in his sketchy room.
He is chained hands and feet. And he is just sitting on there's a bunk like right next to him, but he is sitting on the floor in the middle of his cell. The dwarven woman next to you kind of has her hands at the ready and looks to be doing the somatic components of a spell. And like it's kind of like they're working up the spell and then letting it die and then working it up and then letting it die without actually spending the spell.
I think I can I tell if she's from Faradane or if she's probably from Yongat.
You can't just tell by looking. No.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Because aren't the Yongat dwarves, aren't they more like mountain dwarves?
Typically, but not every dwarf is from Yongat or Faradane. Also.
Okay. I think I just say hello, then I don't do any sort of special dwarf thing. Go. Hello, I am here to do the. My name is Henry Silverhammer, and I'm here to do the absolution of this prisoner here.
He had his. Oh, you're talking to the dwarf, not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She nods and says, uh, uh, "Yeah, that's." She's a little focused with what she's doing with her hands. So she is kind of stuttering a little bit as she talks, but she says, "Yeah, everyone is entitled to that. Be careful. He's a little rowdy." Um, there are the door is bars, like so you can see through at him. Uh,
Okay.
right now he is like down on his knees with his head down and eyes closed.
Uh, are you doing any spells to him? Is he being affected in any way?
She kind of looks up at you a little bit and says, "Oh no, I'm not. I'm not actually releasing spells. I'm preparing counterspell." Um,
Oh,
he has been trying to spit acid at the people that try to talk to him.
okay. Okay, thank you for letting me know. I think I'm gonna talk to him now. And I think I turn toward the UNT and I go, um, hello. I am here to talk to you before um, you leave this afternoon. And I am your advocate. I am here to do anything that to prepare you for the end. If you would like me to um, do anything for you beforehand or do anything with your body afterward, um, that's what I'm here for.
Um, he starts kind of shaking a little bit, like
Insight
bouncing,
check.
kind of.
It's
Go ahead.
insight check. Ah, 7.
Uh, you're not sure what he's doing right now. Um, he's kind of bouncing a little bit and then looks up at you and his eyes snap open and you see the slitted reptilian eyes. And it's kind of low light in here. It would be considered dim light. Uh, you aren't put at any disadvantage because you do have dark vision, but it is. But things are a little more grayscale than normal everyday looking around because of the low light. And that's just how dark vision works. Um, but you, even at this distance, when he brings his head up, you can see scales on his neck. His neck is just a tiny bit too long for like a humanoid. Like, not really too long, but just his neck is longer than proportional in if he were human. He has the slitted eyes, um, and is still kind of jiggling around, kind of pulls at the chains. They're not taut, but he kind of like just pulls and lets the chains rattle. And then looks at you, and you do realize that he is laughing by the big smile on his face. And he says, "You are here to prepare me for those that you work for to kill me."
I think I look over at the female guard and I say, can we have a little bit of privacy?
Um, she is still working her hands a little bit and says, "Give me 1 second to check a range real quick.
Henry has his shield and his hammer. So I think Henry takes his shield out and says,
Okay, let me check something real quick. First, okay. The dwarf looks at your shield and your armor and says, "That's not the kind of thing. Like, that's not what I'm stopping." Um, uh, he has been using a poison spray that I've been able to counterspell. DM will now look up the range of counterspell. She said, I can step away from you a little bit, but I can't be more than 60 feet away from the prisoner so that I can counterspell any attempts he makes.
yeah, I would appreciate that. Thank you for protecting everyone.
She just goes down the hall to the right there, about that far, because she needs to stay about there to keep a sight line on him, even though that is closer than 60 feet. Although, yeah, okay. So,
I think I kind of lean in close to him and say, "Point taken. I do not want to stay here. I do not want to serve anyone that would put someone to death just for being who they are. I don't think that that is acceptable, and I'm going to be doing everything in my power to ensure that this doesn't happen to anyone ever again. And I am genuinely sorry that you are here and going to be put to death. I, if I could stop it, I've tried to stop it. There's nothing that I have the power to do, but I do have the power to be here with you if you need anything."
he approaches the gate. He's still chained, but he does come up to the gate and leans forward.
I don't back away or anything. I just stay there. Same expression.
He. I need to.
Should I make a persuasion check?
Actually, yes, you can make a persuasion check.
You don't fail me now. 12.
Let me just. Okay. I was just making sure of something. He leans forward and whispers, even slightly quieter than you were. And he just says, "You are a fool. Whoever eats me will become more powerful than anyone in this city." And then he just sits down on the floor.
I tried to find out as much as I could about your culture before coming here to see if it would be helpful. And from the lowly sources that I have here in the city, I've heard that eating your kind and eating your deities makes you stronger and makes you. And so, is there anywhere that you would like me to bring your body?
Um, he give me an insight check.
23.
Uh, He looks very confused. Like it seems to him like the entire concept that you are suggesting does not make sense to him at all.
Would you want me to burn your body? Or um, would that be disgraceful? Is there someone that you wish to have your body?
Um, his head just again kind of cocks to the side. You notice his eyes flash over to the dwarf woman that was uh, that you spoke to a moment ago. Um, and then he just kind of leans forward and says, "Seth will feed."
You're a follower of Seth. Okay. How can I find him?
He throws his head back and laughs.
Wait, is Seth the fear one? Sorry, let me look at
Seth is not the fear one.
Seth is not the fear one. Okay. Um, um, I think I go to an even, or I think I say, may I know your name?
Roll another persuasion check for me.
16?
How much?
16?
16. Um, he he was still laughing even through you asking for his name, but he slowly calms and catches his breath a bit. Um, and then he says, "Hang on, I need to do something first. I need to do something first." Uh, he leans forward, and he says, "I am Vist." That's Vist. And then you see him bite down on his tongue. So he has no, he doesn't have fangs, but he does have a serpentine tongue, and you see him bite down on it. But he is so close to you that you are pretty sure that no one would be able to see him do this around you. Like no one would be able to see around you to see him bite his tongue. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Remember, I have advantage against poison and dexterity. That's dexterity. Is this poison?
It is not poison.
Okay. Sir, I don't have advantage.
I am certain that you do not have advantage on wisdom saving throws.
What's it?
It's a 6. Um, 1 second. Uh, you are currently um, you have been affected by the suggestion spell. Um, he leans even closer and still whispering. Um, let me make sure what all he can do with this. Um, um, one other thing to check. Okay. Um, he says, "Get this gate open," and due to your failed wisdom save, you have to do everything in your power to do so. That being said, you are allowed to do it in whatever way you see fit, but you do have to try to get the gate open.
Perception check before I do that.
You can make a perception check.
19.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking to see if the guards are looking.
Yeah, they are keeping an eye on you. Yes. And the dwarven woman is very closely watching, although apparently not closely enough.
What does the gate look like to the room itself? Like, is it like a chain, or like what's the locking?
It is a barred gate. It has like a key lock. The door is metal. The walls are stone.
I think I very swiftly take my axe and hit
Hammer?
the lock. Hit my hammer, and I hit the lock of the door as quickly and repeatedly as I can.
Okay. So we're gonna go into initiative. You get a surprise round.
17 is my initiative roll.
Okay. So first of all, pencil, please. Pencil, please. So make 2 attack rolls because you get 2 attacks
Do I
in a
add
round.
anything to? Oh, okay, yeah, with
Attack
my
rolls.
hammer. Okay, so 19 to hit.
A 19 will hit.
Okay. Yeah, I'm holding mine. So then I 1d8 plus 2.
Did you have your shield like on your arm as you were talking
I,
to him?
I did.
Okay. Then these are still one-handed strikes.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, would I have dropped my shield? I don't think I would have. So that would have slowed me down. Okay, that's a 9.
9 damage.
9 damage.
Um, okay, so the first hit has no effect. You go ahead and make your second attack.
So I think I swing it, and then I drop my shield, and I two-handed swing.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So then it's a 16 to hit.
That hits.
17 to hit, but yeah.
Still hits.
Great. What is it? D10 look like? Okay. Where is it? That's 8. 8 damage. So nothing.
That still does no damage. With that, that is the end of your turn because the suggestion will not, unless you are going to, which you've used both your attacks, so it won't let you right now. But unless you are going to try and get keys from a guard, you are going to have to continue the course of action of trying to break the lock with your hammer until something happens to stop the suggestion. That being said, the mage finally lets go and tries to cast Counterspell, but the spell already being successful, it does nothing. She kind of stumbles forward a couple spaces and is shouting for the guards to come help. I'm gonna say Counterspell was her action, even though it's normally a reaction, but she used her action to try and do it, and it did not work. It is your turn.
Okay, I think I cast Color Spray.
Your
It
initiative was
is.
16, right?
It was 17.
17.
Okay, so it's a 15-foot cone shape.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think I'm gonna wait until the other guards run up to cast that.
Okay.
Um, uh,
You can do you. The suggestion is get the gate open. So Henry goes
I
about that
see.
how Henry would go about it. So like you are not compelled to attack any of these guards. Like the spell, it will not does not force you to attack the guards, but you are compelled to get the gate open.
Can I do a perception check for the keys?
Yeah,
13.
13. You do not see keys on. Uh, you don't see keys on the guard either to your right or left or the dwarf. They're all three of those are dwarves, but on either guards
Okay.
or the mage, you do not see keys.
Are any of them wearing armor?
The guards are wearing leather armor.
I think I'm going to cast Channel Divinity, Nature's Wrath, on the female dwarf, the spellcaster.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she has to succeed a Strength or Dex saving throw of 14.
Okay. She does not.
Okay. She is restrained, and she can repeat the saving throw at the end of her turn.
Wait, hang on.
At the,
Why do you have advantage on dexterity saving? Oh, you have advantage on dexterity saving throws that would knock you off your feet because of your boots. That's what it is. Um, so she is restrained.
yes.
That's the only effect on her, and she can save again at the end of her turn.
Yes.
Okay. Um,
So she's encased in spectral vines to be
okay.
restrained.
Uh, with that, it'll be the guard's turn. Um, I'm not gonna let these guys take the dash action. Because they were surprised. These two guards are flanking you, and they're both going to make attacks.
18 is my armor class.
That's one hits, two hits. That is 2d8s. Where'd it go?
You hear your dice rolling around.
You take 6 damage. Um, and that's about it for them. Next, it is the mage. She is restrained. Let me take a moment to actions, channel divinity. Make sure you mark off. Oh, you might have marked it off, and I just haven't. Um,
What?
nothing. I need a So restrain, speed becomes 0. Can't benefit from attack rolls, have advantage against it. Its attack rolls have disadvantage, and it has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. Okay. So the mage is going to shout, the prisoner's holding concentration, focus on the prisoner, and then at disadvantage cast Firebolt, which is still okay, but I need to I think I know. That's 3. So that'll be a hit. But I still need. It's just a D10 of damage. Need more dice, so I can use this. So Vist takes 4 damage, and he has to make a Constitution saving throw, which he succeeds. That's all, and then strength or dexterity for the mage to get out of the. Okay. Shoot. The mage is still restrained. It is your turn.
I cast Ensnaring Strike. And that on my hammer. And I hit the guard to my the one that's farthest away from everybody.
The one on the left?
Yeah, the one on the left. I don't know why I thought you'd be looking at it from a different angle. They must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by magical vines until the spell ends. While restrained by the spell, they take 1d6 piercing damage at the start of each of its turns.
Okay. You do still have to hit before it takes this effect.
Okay. Oh, this is a bonus. Oh, but casting is bonus action.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you cast it on your weapon.
How do I? Okay, strength saving throw of 14.
No, you have to attack it with your attack the guard with your weapon and hit them, or the spell cannot take effect.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry. Well, it's 5. 17 to hit.
That'll hit. Roll your damage.
Wait, no, it's not damage. Or 1d6 of damage, right? Okay. Do I do the damage of the hammer too?
Yes.
Oh god. I want to do non-lethal damage.
Okay.
Okay, so that is 8 from the hammer.
Okay.
And then 1d6 piercing damage. So that's 3 piercing damage.
Okay.
Remember knock him out.
Remember the 3 damage. Well, no. Okay, so he doesn't take the 3 damage until his turn, but his turn is next. So right now he is still up, but very heavily hurt.
He's restrained.
Okay. You can, because you took the attack action, you do have one more attack, but you don't have Ensnaring Strike on your weapon anymore.
I'm going to cast Ensnaring Strike again.
You only have one bonus action.
Oh, okay. Then I think I just hit. I hit the other guard.
You're just gonna hit the other guard. Okay.
Yeah.
You haven't picked up your shield yet, so you're still
Oh, can I
two-handing.
do that?
No, that would take your bonus action at least.
Okay. 21 to hit.
It hits. Roll your
Okay.
two-handed damage.
4 damage.
Um. Oh yeah, your damage bonus is only a 1, or it's 2, isn't it?
That's 2. And
Yeah.
so I rolled a d10, got a 2.
Okay. So you got 4 damage on next one.
And I think I yell, "Give me the keys!"
Okay. So now it is the guard's turn.
Wait, I'm sorry. I think I say, "Give me the keys. I don't want to hurt anyone." Is what I said.
All right. At the start of the guard's turn, the one to your left falls unconscious.
I'm sorry.
And then he is going to move there and then use his action to move this guy there. Okay. The one that is in range of the okay, 2 of them are going to make attacks on Vist. The one next, like directly next to you, to your right, is stabbing through the bars. The other throws his spear. They both hit. And do, 16 damage between the 2 of them. Still, and then Vist will take 2 Constitution saving throws, which he fails both. The effects of suggestion fall from you, and Vist, who was focusing on you the whole time, not really being able to do anything through the bars anyway, stumbles backwards 5 feet. Is... Oh, it's not, is it? Okay. And that is the guard's turn. It's the mage now. The mage is going to make an Arcana check. And realizes that you are no longer under the effects of suggestion, and shouts out, Silverhammer, you're free, put the hammer down. And then is going to attempt to... what was the DC on the thing that you did? 14? Remains trapped in vines. It is your turn.
How? None of the guards like hurt, right?
One of them's unconscious, and you hit the one right next to you. I mean, a little bit. You dealt 4 damage to him.
Henry doesn't want to hurt anybody, so he drops his hammer.
Okay. So you drop your hammer. You're not going to take any more aggressive action? Or are you going to cast a spell? Or are you going to do anything else? Or is that your turn?
My turn.
Okay. It is the guard's turn then.
I think I say, it's
all these guards come and surround you. This one pushes that one away a little bit, and the mage starts doing the same hand signals they were doing before. It's like the prepping counterspell. And one of the guards says, "All right, sorry, but that's going to have to be all you do." And he picks up your shield and hammer, and then another one kind of gives you a very light push on the back, just kind of, let's go, let's leave. And the two flanking you are trying to lead you out of the dungeons.
Can I undo Ensnaring Strike?
Let me look. Actions. You did Nature's Wrath. That's the one on the mage, right? Yeah.
I did Ensnaring Strike.
You did Ensnaring Strike on the guard. You did
Oh,
Nature's Wrath
yeah.
on the mage. I'm gonna say yes. You can release it.
And then same for the guard who's unconscious.
I'm gonna say that Ensnaring Strike fell away when he fell unconscious.
Okay, so I take Nature's Wrath off the mage, and then I say, "Can I heal him?" And I gesture to the guy who's unconscious.
The two guards stop and say, "If you could wake him up, we would appreciate it. But we have our own healers that can tend to his wounds, so you don't need to expend your own resources."
Sorry. And I move, like I make move like I'm gonna go with him.
Okay. With that, they escort you out. It is 10-ish 30. And we will save and close out of this map and go rejoin the others. It went really well.
Mute,
I'm on mute. You can't hear me?
I can
Now
hear
you're just super quiet.
now I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
You're
Okay.
always super quiet. I can only ever hear about like 1 in 3 things you say.
No, I can hear you now.
Bronwyn, you can
No.
turn Asher up individually if.
I'm gonna have to start doing that because every session I can only ever hear like a third of everything Asher says.
Yeah, I don't know if their mic is picking it up, but
Let me change my sound settings real quick.
But also, Jesus Christ, guys, that was so long. that was fucking 50 minutes.
Sorry. Things
Is that
happen.
better? Is that better? Audio quality?
yeah, that's
That
much
sounds
better.
sounds good to me.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. So, Henry, where are you going?
Henry's going to Cole's barracks.
All right. So we will rejoin together. It is, by the time you get to the barracks, I'm going to say it's pushing 11 a.m.
Okay. I think I knock on the door. It's still Henry.
Carl's gonna get up and go answer it.
And then I just fall into Cole's arms as soon as they open the door.
Carl's gonna catch Henry. Probably immediately look behind Henry and then just kind of shut the door and drag Henry inside.
He's still
Okay.
imprisoned. He's still imprisoned. But he cast a spell on me and said that I needed to get the door open no matter what, and I I didn't do anything to fight it, and I tried to break him out, but there were too many guards, and then they broke his concentration, and then I just dropped all my spells and went willingly, but yeah.
Wait. First of all, are you injured? Second of all, tell me everything.
I'm okay. And I see I took 6 damage, so I was like, yeah, I think I have like a little scrape here, but I'm fine.
Yeah, you would have like maybe a bruise from an impact through your armor. Like, not much.
That's like I'm fine. I went down there and I talked to him, and he didn't seem to care that he was gonna die. But he said that whoever consumes his body will be the most powerful person somewhere, maybe here in the city. I wasn't taking notes at all, y'all guys. So I was just trying to get through it, and that's how long it took without me taking notes. I was like, yeah, so, and then I asked if there was somewhere I could bring his body so that didn't happen, or if there was somebody who wanted his body, and he just laughed at me and said that Seth would feed, which Seth is his deity, who is, I learned when I went to the library that Seth is trying to bring the UNT back into power, but hasn't made it. So I don't know if that was just like a euphemism of like, you know, a blessing in his mind of may his deity feed, or if Seth, the very winged, scary person, is going to come and try to kill us. I would imagine the former. I think it was just a blessing or a curse, depending on your point of view. And then Henry just sinks to the floor.
Should we get Henry to sit on a bed and Reynold put Truffle in his lap? Okay.
I'm gonna lay Henry out on Carl's bed.
Okay.
Henry kind of goes with them, like, okay, just kind of lets them guide him to the bed.
Oh boy.
That suggestion, by the way, had a DC of 9. The suggestion that made Henry do all of that, the spell that was cast, had a DC of 9. In case y'all wanted to know. You did a saving throw,
yeah,
and you got a 4.
I got a 4. It was real bad.
If you wanted to know how well that went down there.
Christ.
No,
Henry,
I got a 6.
You got a 6.
Saving throw?
I got a 6. Got a wisdom saving throw. I have a +4. I rolled a 2. So. Not great.
Yeah. However, Asher was smart enough to remember to have Henry do non-lethal damage, so the one guard that he knocked out is not dead.
Yeah, I did Ensnaring Strike, and I did all of the things I can do to bind people up. And then I was like, if ever I did melee damage, I was like, okay, no spells, only melee damage, and non-lethal, just knocking them out. I want to get this guy out, but I also don't want to kill anybody. And I think, so this is Asher talking, I think Henry just goes, I knocked a guy out, and I hope he's okay.
Who did you knock out, Henry?
One of the guards.
You knocked out a guard?
I also might have fucked up the lock on the cell door. I don't know. I banged it a couple times.
Okay. Let me get this in order. You went to go see the prisoner. For what purpose? Paul does not know this.
Oh. Right, I forgot. I go, oh, I'm so sorry, Call. I'm sorry. This morning I went and talked to second brother Eurydius, and he asked me to do the absolution for the UNT prisoner. And I said, of course. And I went to the library to try to figure out what type of religion the prisoner probably followed, and I found out about the common UNT deities, um, but they're of his specific species of UNT. There's not much known about funeral rites, and so I just went down there to see if I could help. I offered whatever help I could. I think he was amused by me, which most people are, so that's not uncommon. And I found out his name, but he seemed resigned to dying. Or maybe he thought that he wouldn't die today. I don't know.
Okay, next question before we get into all this. Are the guards coming after you? Do we need to
No.
relocate? Are we going to get in trouble for this? Is the execution still on? Answer in that order.
The guards are not coming after me. I don't think I'm gonna get in trouble because as soon as the spell lifted, there was a mage there and she said to drop my hammer, and I did, and I immediately took off her bindings that I put on her, and I went with the guards and I asked if I could heal the one I knocked out. So maybe I don't think I'll get a punishment, because I was under a spell and I cooperated after. The execution is still on.
Okay. In that case, we can breathe for a minute.
Minor possibility that a UNT deity is going to come to try to consume his body. A winged UNT, very powerful. But that might have just been, that's the thing I was talking about, could be a blessing or a curse on us. I don't know. Also, we need to guard his body because apparently consuming it, and I kind of side-eye Ren, consuming it will give you power. And that is confirmed from the librarian who knows about UNT, and from Ben, what was his name? Henry would remember, I didn't. Was it
The prisoner's
Brisk?
name? Vist.
Yeah.
I'll
Vist.
put it in here.
Thank you. I was like, and Vist said it himself that whoever consumes him will be. And I think I look at Ren directly and say, "Have you talked High Power Kenda?"
I have not.
Why would you need to talk to Kenda?
I'm sorry.
Ren finally just takes out the letter. I'm assuming that Ren got the letter back. Like
Yes.
his letter and his permission slip to take the body. And just shows Call.
Well, fuck.
Yeah.
Because this might be confusing.
Doing okay today. I asked you, and you said you said you were fine.
I'm doing fine.
This is not
I am doing
the
fine.
sign of someone who is fine.
I'm coping. I'm doing okay.
I think I kind of call and go,
High Power Kenda is treating me like an undertaker,
Okay.
but I'm
I
fine.
couldn't see that because hold on. I couldn't see what Asher did because Asher's been frozen for me since they came back. I know it's just me. I messaged Jenny about it, so I'm going to leave and come back because I can't see Asher for shit.
wait, I just turned off my. Okay.
No, I'm gonna leave. leave and come back.
Okay.
Yeah, now you're moving.
Great. When Ren says, "I'm fine," I'm coping, whatever they were saying, Henry looks at Cole and goes,
Call is going to angrily thwack Ren on the arm and shove Truffle at him. And just be like, and just go, "Don't lie to me."
Okay. Ren's just like curling around Truffle now. He's been scolded. He's gonna pet the rabbit. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, we have enough to deal with without lies. Do not lie to me. And then Call's going to turn their attention back to Henry.
and I think Henry's still laying down, and he covers his eyes and goes, "In the interest of full disclosure, I went and saw Ren this morning, and that's why we know about each other's assignments. We don't have time to talk about my state this morning and what all the things that I want to do and our entire conversation. I do want to clue you in, and I think it's important, but not for this exact moment."
Ren did say that he and Henry had checked in. And now Bronwyn's frozen. Okay. Did Ren not say that Henry was doing the absolution? Because I thought he did. And then he was saying that Henry and Call both had shitty jobs. So he did the same fucking thing to Henry this morning. But, yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah. He did say that he and Henry had talked, though.
Yeah, that part I do remember.
Okay.
That part I do remember. Okay.
Perception check to see if Esley is paying attention.
Go ahead.
Why would you need that? You didn't see what you didn't see anything to warrant Esley's.
I know that Seymour's kind of out of commission. I'm just saying the only other person in the room.
Gotcha.
A 4, so, whatever. I look up.
Esley is still throwing knives.
God bless. Also,
The wall looks pretty fucked right now.
I believe it. This is not the moment to take advantage of the information, but can Call roll to see if they know any of the anything that Etzley likes. Do kind of pull a Henry on this and just kind of leave a snack near Etzley and be like, "Okay, this is for you."
Yeah, you can roll for it.
Use Henry's power.
Make an insight check.
Insight check, okay. 10.
Nope.
Okay. Never mind.
With a 10, you are fairly certain that if you were to bother Esley right now, it's like 50-50 shot whether or not she would start throwing knives at you.
Okay.
Esley is a little bit of a grumpy gal.
Bless her.
As a personality trait, not just right now.
Yes. Alright, so Carl's gonna turn back to Henry. And say, "Okay. So, from the top, came in to give him his absolution. He did not seem upset about dying. He would not give you any information about burial rites, and he told you that Seth, I believe you said, was going to feed. And then how did the conversation get from that to you being controlled, and how did the conversation afterwards go? Was anyone involved that we should know about?
I asked him if there was anybody who I should give his body to or any place I should put it, and that's when he said Seth will feed. But he also, before that, he made it seem like somebody was going to consume his body before anybody could do what was in his interest. So,
do we need
and
to be concerned that that is true? And like, do we think that that's true? Or should I be extra worried about high power Kenda?
I think that if we could find a way to accidentally burn his body, that might be a good course of action. Oh no, the candle fell over.
Oh god. Oh
It actually
god.
takes a lot to burn a person's body.
Yeah.
Oh no, Ren cast fireball.
Oh, he was just too excited.
I thought he was attacking me. He's dead. I thought I saw him twitch.
Literally beheaded.
Okay, so here's the plan. I will. This is Henry is talking. This is not Asher, and he sounds a little bit crazy, but a little bit kidding. And he's like, "Here's the plan. I will make sure that the executioner misses, and then Ren will have to cast fireball to kill him, and also get rid of his body."
I'll be up there. So no.
Paul can jump out of the way. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
You're okay.
I just. Henry takes out a snack from his coat and starts eating it. I think I need to have my blood sugar.
Is Bronwyn there?
Bronwyn is there. Bronwyn is having so much trouble with her screen. Bronwyn's gonna come right
There. Okay.
Bronwyn is struggling, guys.
There's Bronwyn.
Bronwyn speaks in the third person.
Sometimes. Bronwyn lives alone.
Alright. Any actions that y'all want to take? Or that is poor terminology. Is there anything that y'all actually want to do, or are y'all going to, like, do you want to make real plans, or do you want to make frivolous, insane idea plans as a group that we don't have to exactly roleplay? Or are y'all going to try and make a for real plan?
Honestly, Ren is practically resigned to this.
Call is resigned to it, but Call was resigned to it before today even started, so. So yeah.
I think Henry feels like he tried. It just kind of feels like he failed to save this guy.
Wait, do we have viewers? Do we have viewers?
Oh no, I was telling them.
Oh, okay.
I've been updating my friends.
They should watch the stream.
They should watch
They
the
should.
stream.
Yeah, I mean, the gif that Nick sent is accurate. Henry's like, because I'm just telling y'all this. Henry definitely could have, or probably could have cast command and said, "Stop." Maybe that's something Henry could have tried, and he made a conscious decision to not try that.
Fair.
Um, so I think Henry says, "Well, guess my job is over." And then remembers friends also have difficult jobs and said, "Is there anything I can do for you guys?"
What you can do for me right now is lay on this bed, recover, and don't move.
Will you hold my hand?
Yes. Call's gonna say it that aggressively while taking Henry's hand very gently. It's the dichotomy of man.
I will say, Henry, you took some damage, right? Well, like
6.
6 points of damage.
6 out of 47.
If you wanted to, you certainly have the time, as long as you don't plan on going to do something. You could take a short rest before the. So if you wanted to take a short rest, roll your hit die, add your Constitution modifier, and then regain that many hit points.
Okay.
You could.
I'll do that. But I think, so I'm holding Call's hand. Then I think I look over at Ren and say, "Do you want to talk about what you're going to do?"
I don't want to, but I would rather have given him whatever service he preferred. So I'm glad that you asked, Henry, and I'm sorry that he didn't give a more useful answer. Um, I don't know Kenda's plans, but I think Kenda will probably incinerate me or something if I don't do my job.
Unfortunately, I think we might be in a position where it's above our pay grade to be able to address it. And I don't mean that in that we are beyond capacity of caring. I mean that we are without the resources to effectively do anything we actually care about.
Sounds about right.
So I think this is not a battle we can win. And I think the goal of the day is to make it through the day. Henry, you've done as much as you can to give him a chance, and it was a chance he did not take. At this point, his fate rests in his own hands, and it is not your fault. You've done your job, and you've done all that you could. And if we don't have the resources to do anything more, we should not destroy ourselves over it.
You're right. Should we go talk to the librarian who knew about Yuan-Ti to see if it's likely at all that Seth would come and try to consume the body of Vist?
that sentence.
I said should we go to the librarian and see if the UNT deity is going to come?
I'm guessing that it's very unlikely. I'm not assuming that this happens every time someone passes away.
Okay.
But I'm not sure what Kenda thinks about it.
Well, if it comes when he passes, wouldn't it come during the execution in public?
Yeah.
I think so.
So, if that's the case, we're not particularly like to miss it.
But it just, maybe we should warn someone who's in higher power than us.
Like whom? I'm not trying to reject your ideas. Call is reassuring. Call is saying, I'm just trying to figure out what the most effective course of action is.
I'm probably just, I just want to make sure that no one else gets hurt. But it's probably that their side is not going to come. I think they would just start. Yeah. Let's just get through the day.
And kind of awkwardly pats Henry on the shoulder. So.
Can I hold your hand too?
Okay. Both of Henry's hands are being held. It's a good day.
I am picturing y'all in a triangle of holding hands with Truffle in the middle.
Yes.
Paul is also at this moment like giving Ren like a pretty intense mother bear glare because you know, we've already gotten the yes I'll hold your hand to Henry, and Ren's not out of the doghouse right now for not telling Call that he had a shit job today. So
yeah.
Call is like aggressively looking at Ren, looking at Truffle, and being like, "Are you taking care of yourself, jackass?"
Fair. Okay.
So Call is then be like, "You are going to take care of yourself, and you are also going to remember that I am mad at you right now."
Ren's gonna have a hard time forgetting that. But yeah, really, like, in general, their plan just has to be like getting through the day. So
All
what
right.
are we gonna do after? I think is his next question.
After you bring the body to High Power Kingdom? Or
after that, yeah.
I have several thoughts.
Okay.
I'll pull up my little speech. Let me pull up my that I wrote for this.
They have been working on this for a while.
I really only did my first draft, and I was like, that's probably fine.
Oh. So you sent me the first draft, and I just assumed that you did a second draft afterward.
No, I was just kind of like, yeah, that's the vibe. I think I look at Call and I say this morning when I went to talk to Ren, I was in a state, and I think he talked me down from doing something that I would ultimately regret. But my charge from my goddess was to spread joy. I came to Storgard to learn the skills that I needed so that I could protect people, and I knew that Lita would grant me spells if I asked for them. In my travels, it became clear that nobles typically do not bring joy, but they can be quite adept at stealing it. And it seems that our fearful leader is one of those. and I feel that it is my duty to do what I can to remove anything that will be sucking the joy out of people. I do not know how I can continue to be in Storgard without doing something about Canander. I do not think that his children will be raised to be better than him, but maybe somebody else could be a better leader. Will you help me find a way to remove the threat to the people of Storad, especially those who he deems monstrous?
Call is immediately looking around the room.
Make a perception check for me.
Damn, what's with the low rolls today? 11.
I need to check something real quick.
Ren would also love to make a perception check.
Go ahead.
Can I make another perception check? I just assumed I couldn't, and that I already made one to see if Esley was listening in.
Yeah, you already made yours.
Okay, that's what I thought. So I didn't check.
Esley has two knives in her hands and is holding the position of throwing her third and is staring at y'all.
Henry doesn't notice this, by the way.
Call's going to turn and look at Henry and go, "That is not a conversation for the moment. Maybe you should rest."
Henry, give me a persuasion check real quick.
Persuasion. I think that's +6. Yeah. That's a 21.
Well, you're persuasive.
Esley reaches to the hood of her niqab and pulls it down.
Henry immediately looks away.
Ren and Call, I guess, see that as she does so, there's also a flicker of light from in front of her eyes as the minor illusion that she had cast in front of her own eyes falls away. And you see slitted serpentine eyes and green scales along her cheeks. And she stares at y'all for a second and then pulls her niqab back up and continues throwing her knives. Henry sees none of this because he is too polite.
Ren is gonna look for Call's reaction on that.
First of all, before that, let me give you the full description of her real quick. So she does have beige skin. Her eyes are still blue, but slitted, as I said, and she has pretty long black hair that was like tied back to fit into the niqab. You also would have noticed scars around her neck that look like a manacle was kept around her neck.
I don't like that.
Ooh.
And Ren wanted to check Call's reaction. Is
Yeah.
Call attempting to hide their reaction in any way?
No.
Okay, so
Call just kind of nods like they aren't as surprised as they could have been. Call just kind of nods. And looks like they're like really processing information right now, but does not look incredibly surprised.
Ren's also just gonna squeeze Henry's hand like an it's okay thing. Like, I might not be ready to commit regicide with you, but like, not quite yet, but I'm here to comfort you in the meantime. So,
Um, Carl is going to, as quietly as they can, like lean over to Henry and be like, I trust people. I trust the people here. That is still a dangerous that is still a dangerous thing to ask them to carry for you. Be careful who hears you talk. And then like squeezes Henry's shoulder very supportingly, not in the sense that like, oh, that like trying to convey, oh, I am not rejecting you in this moment. I am trying to caution you out of compassion and not trying to be like, I'm like not trying to like back the fuck away from this.
Henry starts crying. Like quiet, silent tears.
Oh no.
And then he kind of whispers, "You're right, I'm an idiot."
You are not. And Call's just gonna jump straight into slightly angry Mama Bear mode again. And starts to just talk to Henry very much about how Henry is not an idiot, how Henry is a very compassionate person, and is someone who will like do the just thing when the just thing is hard to do, etc., etc. But is also saying this in the slightly like scolding tone of the "you should know this about yourself" kind of thing. Call's not a very good mom friend.
Ren is gonna try that affection thing. He's just gonna lie down next to Henry and just hug him.
Okay, y'all all melt into a puddle of love and gentle scolding.
Gentle.
Yes.
You haven't been struck yet.
That's affection for Urka. This is gentle.
Barring anything else y'all want to do, I think I'll fast forward us a little bit. So a little time after second bell rings, Call, you have a job to do. Is Henry going to attend the execution? Okay.
Oh yeah, just support his friends. He's gonna be as close as he can to the platform to be near Call.
Okay. And Ren will need to be there immediately afterwards, so.
Right next to Henry.
Okay.
Holding hands.
Yes, of course.
That's some gay shit right there. Um,
We're friends.
We hold hands.
We hold hands. We can
Totally-
be friends and hold hands.
Totally platonically. I know, like scandalous, but we can still hold hands.
all right. So y'all start heading that way. Be honest, is anyone aware enough to be watching around for anything?
I think
I think
so.
Call. Yes, because it's Call's job to be.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Work for me here, Big Duck. Fucking Christ, 13.
13 and a 6. Okay. So a 13 is absolutely enough to hear the slight roar of a crowd as you approach town square. Um, you are arriving before the prisoner, but you do see a wooden platform built about 4 to 5 feet high, um, with a block at the center and a tall, hooded, seemingly human man holding a very large axe, just standing there. There is a large group of guards. Um, okay. As y'all approach from the north. And I'm gonna bring up a battle map.
I'm
Just
gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay.
I'll still be able to hear you guys though.
Go quickly.
Ben,
Yes.
may I retcon just slightly because I thought of this before that didn't say it because
What
I
do you need?
am bad at saying things. Can Ren have brought like a couple of blankets? That's it. Just brought a couple of blankets.
Do you
Or like sheets or
own
something.
extra blankets?
Does
Or-
he have like spare sheets in his room?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, just 2 spare sheets in his bag or something.
Okay. Alrighty. I'm gonna move this friend over here. The Dungeon Fog is up, so if y'all want to click the link to hop in, I still have Henry because we had to do this earlier. Um, I have to get my wife an oatmeal cream pie. I'll be right back.
Nice. Well, okay.
Sorry, y'all. He used to have him at his desk, which is why I didn't realize he was gonna have to get out of the room and go get me. And I didn't realize it was gonna be a whole ordeal. I apologize.
Oh no, you good, you good.
Okay, I
Oof.
did not expect to hear you talking just now. And so you scared the shit out of me.
I'm sorry.
Are they enemies?
No.
No, okay.
I'm gonna use some serotonin.
Okie dokie.
What, Brahma?
So many tokens. Remember that one time when I was like, oh, I'll never do anything this big again?
The very first session.
Yeah, this is the same map, but adjusted. Alright, you should all be assigned your tokens, except maybe, did I fuck up? Have I fucked up? Ah,
Paul has
okay,
flexibility.
you left.
I couldn't see anything.
Well, I was still messing with it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Boom. Okay, so you should all be assigned. I actually, can y'all see?
No.
No.
It's
Okay.
a black grid.
All right. Well, it's the middle of the day. I'm just going to enable sight and give y'all forever sight because it is bright in the day and y'all can see as far as you want. Now can everybody see?
Yeah. Why am I on the platform?
Because that's where you.
Every...
What? Are there sections that are black?
Yeah.
Okay, those are the buildings. There are buildings around you. Are you in a small square?
I am in a square, but the like everything off of the platform, with the exception of two small triangles, is black.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like crowd that's cut off.
Better?
That's a good Asher.
Better?
Getting better. Now we're talking.
Okay. So the problem is the way I had to make the platform was to make a room, and so it still thinks that you are in a walled area.
Gotcha.
Okay. Henry and Ren, you actually will need to move your people to the crowd wherever you want to be. I think if you hold shift, you can not be in the exact center of one of the squares if you want to just kind of wedge yourself into the crowd. Henry would have been on the platform there if he had escorted the prisoner to here, but instead, that's not how it happened.
I can't pick him up.
You can't move yourself, can you? Because I didn't let you. Own token. Own token. Own token. Okay.
I'm looking right by Call.
Well, no, you need to be in the crowd.
No, I'm trying.
Oh,
okay.
Are you?
Can't get off the platform.
Yeah, because there's not doors to the platform. Here, boom.
Oh, thank you. That's what I wanted to be. You're like.
At least like don't be in this row along with the guards.
Is that okay?
Sure, that works. Okay. So first things first. So, Bronwyn, can you see the entire crowd? Like, do you?
Yes, you butthead.
What? What happened? What?
Nothing. Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay.
Wait, I can't.
Oh,
move my character anymore.
you can't move your character anymore. Is it because I have them selected? Try again.
No.
Henry, own token. It might be that you're on top of this crowd thing, and it doesn't like that. I'm.
Can I be over by Chels?
I just moved the crowd out of the way. Now can you move?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. I now understand why Bronwyn was upset.
Why?
She saw someone in the crowd.
Oh, Jester.
I saw someone in the crowd, yeah.
Okay, so first of all, perception check from Call. If Henry and Ren also want to make perception checks, they will be at disadvantage because y'all are in the crowd and it's much harder to see.
Interesting.
Actually, I think I'm gonna be. Can I see Chels from here?
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
through the crowd, so like the people would have to part, but you might not always have a consistent sightline on gels from there.
Ren got a 12. He's at kind of a weird spot, but he also doesn't want to be like in the way.
Okay. All right. What did Call roll on that perception check?
The original one, or just now?
No, just now. Just now. Sorry.
Oh, I didn't roll another one because I wasn't sure if that was. They keep getting really shit rolls. Also a 12.
Okay. And did Henry roll perception as well?
Poof.
Good. All right. With a 12, you see. Okay. Kind of front and center, you see Chels and Trent. You see the high elven woman that works for Carta. You see both Juster and the War Duchess Prina Heiza. You see the Goliath, who stands 8'4", guy that's wearing like silver armor with a white cape and kind of white decals that has the insignia of a gauntlet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my wife is being perverse. And you also, although there is not a token for him, because apparently I did not get everybody, you see Great Servant Rawl, who, for our purposes, I'm actually going to select one of the figures and just say that it is him. We're gonna take this gnome child. Okay, that's him. So can I ping? Okay, so you have Chels and Trent. That is Retta, the high elven woman. Of course, Juster and Prina Heiza. And then I know he's in here somewhere. Where'd he go? Where'd I put him? Did I not put him in here? I definitely got. I thought I did. I apparently forgot to put him in earlier, so I'm going to put him in now. But we're gonna put him over here. Boom. And that's the Goliath guy. Hard to miss.
Alphonse Elric?
Yes, it is.
Alphonse
It is
Elric?
Alphonse. Yes.
I don't get that reference.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Ah, okay.
Full Metal Alchemist.
All right. So, that being all said, 3 more guards approach. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know if y'all can actually see that. He is brought up, and then the dwarven mage that one Henry Silverhammer will recognize also approaches. Just to make sure that y'all can see, I'm gonna give that guy's height. All right. Yeah. So he is brought up. I am going to ask now. What are the this gentleman comes forward, who you recognize as the captain of the guard, not the captain of Count Anders' household guard, but the captain of the city guard. Whose name is Garrett Rhine. He comes forward, pulls out a scroll, and begins listing the offenses of Vist. He first mentions the break-in to the library and the threat of magical knowledge in the hands of those who are with either malicious or intent or ignorant of its power. And then he goes on to also list the crimes of now 5 murders. He lists 2 members of the Corps of Light. He says them by name. They are the 2 druids who were killed, that died because of the death injected into them, and also 3 townspeople killed in the same way. And then goes on a little spiel of how the streets will be safer now that he will no longer be stalking them. And I want an insight check from anybody who wants to make it. Henry and Ren will still be at disadvantage because y'all are peeking
Nat 20.
around. Nat 20 disadvantage.
No.
Still 13.
Still 13?
9.
I am swapping out my d20. What the fuck? Because I only got a 5.
Okay. With
That does not like
with a 13, let me make sure that Ren hit exactly the DC necessary to notice that Chels doesn't look to be her normal put together self. She is doing the thing that she did when y'all were in the prison cells after the cultist jumped at the gnome and bit him and then Trent stabbed him in the back, where she is standing as straight as she can stand and firmly, but not like trying to tear it, but pulling at her clothing to straighten every wrinkle out of her clothes. And she's like sweating a little bit, and even though it's not very hot, and like isn't keeping her gaze on the accused or even the captain of the guard reading. Like she keeps looking around, not at anything specific, but just keeps looking away. Um, Captain Ryan returns to his position, and actually he comes next to Vist and pushes him down to his knees and then lays him down on the block. Are there any actions that anyone would like to take?
Will Call roll once again to scan the crowd.
You can.
Okay. Try a different d20 this time. Jesus fucking Christ, guys. 10.
10. Okay. With a 10, I will say that you hit the people you saw previously and try to get a read on how they're feeling. What's up, Ash?
I rolled another insight check on Chels, if that's okay.
At disadvantage?
Yes.
Okay, what'd you get?
I got a 22.
22. You also pick up what Rim picks up, which is Chels looks upset. With the 22, outright say Chels looks upset. And I'm going to even say that with a 22, you are able to pick up that you don't hear it, but you're able to read her lips. She is saying, this isn't how it was supposed to go. Okay. With a 10, Call looks at the people they already made a beat on. Call does not pick up what Chels is doing. You do notice that she's kind of talking, but also she's standing right next to Trent, and you just assume that she's talking to Trent. Retta is with her arms crossed, just standing there stone-faced. Juster looks like he is going to throw up.
I don't like that.
One thing you do notice is there is a dwarven man who leaves after the sentence is read. A dwarven man just full on turns around and leaves.
What colors is he wearing?
He's wearing blue.
Interesting.
Prina Heise, the War Duchess, just looks really fucking bored. Members of the crowd, by the way, are shouting and like cheering, and there's nobody throwing anything. And as a matter of fact, it actually, like, that's kind of a note to make. Like, nobody has any like rotten fruit to throw. But the small folk are cheering about the spectacle they're about to see. And you see Great Servant Rawl muttering, as always. I believe that's everyone that I told you noticed. And so as Captain Ryan forces Vist down onto the block. I need to open that. You hear a cracking sound, and it's very loud. Everyone turns. I'm gonna ping on the map over here. Some tiles just fall off of the roof of this building, and kind of everybody's startled by it. Like there's this like sound of clay cracking, and some tiles fall off the roof. Captain Ryan like stands up straight to get a look and doesn't seem to see anything. And then 15 feet. Is there a way for me to make a circle? I don't think so. So everybody kind of settles back in for a second. They hold Vist back to the block, and then suddenly, I don't know how to do. Maybe I'll just do a token real quick. A spell is cast that is darkness. I'm gonna just make it weird and use one of my circular with a border size 3. And everybody under that is completely encapsulated in darkness.
Great.
Just like a sphere of black. And at the same,
black and dark vision can't see through?
it is magical darkness that cannot be seen through, whether you have dark vision or not.
Okay.
I need more dice. And I believe 6 of these. One, two, three. 3 of the guards drop dead. And Henry and Ren can make a perception check. Call can hear screaming, but cannot see anything. If
Mod
you
20.
Great.
mod 20.
17.
Need to make one more roll. Okay, so you both are able to pick out that this woman right here casts the darkness. Dark-skinned woman with braids, who is very like noticeably hiding behind this half-elven man in front of her. And then you also notice this guy and this guy are holding hand crossbows and are the ones who killed the 2 guards that were here and here. But you aren't able to tell from across the way what happened. With that, can everybody roll initiative?
$18.
16.
11.
I have old initiatives still written down. Call was 16? Great.
Yeah.
And Henry was 17, yeah.
18.
18.
Henry's got some good rolls today.
Henry's had some bad rolls.
Recently. Before that, I was not doing
Henry has had some pretty okay rolls in combat. Outside of combat. Okay, I have to roll a lot of initiative real quick. Sorry.
Yeah. I am currently falling victim to dice superstition because all of my dice are rolling shitty individually, but they all roll fine if I roll multiple at once. So what I'm doing is I'm picking one dice that I'm going to read from in advance. And I'm like, it's gonna be this one, but I roll them all at once.
They just need friends.
They need friends. So if you hear the sound of multiple d20s being rolled, I promise I'm not cheating. I'm picking one in advance to choose to read from.
Gotta make sure we use the dice that belong to people. What is that? I think that he has. So many people. Do you have? You do. Okay. I'm sorry that I did not have these rolled beforehand. I should have done that.
How dare you?
I could have been rolling them while y'all were role-playing in Call's Barracks, but I was not. So.
When this combat session ends, I have to go to bed.
I'm going to try and not make it take a very, very long time. We'll see what happens. We might have to pick it up later. Okay. Henry, you are actually the first to act.
Good job.
Thank you. I point to the person who casts the spell and I say, I cast the command spell and I say, dispel.
Okay. So that's a wisdom saving throw, right?
Yes, a wisdom saving throw of 14.
Oh my god. This character has a +8 to their wisdom saving throws.
Holy shit.
And did not do it.
Fuck yeah. So on their next turn, they have to follow the command.
Yes. Okay.
And then I shout, "Oh, are you okay?"
I didn't actually. I'm gonna use the roll that I made, but I didn't actually use their dice. Like a fool. Okay. Do you have a bonus action you want to take, or do you want to try and move? The crowds are all difficult terrain, so it'll take double movement to move through the crowds.
I think I saddle up next to the homies around her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of,
That's my turn.
I'm gonna move these people into actual squares so that they're more fightable. Alright. Okay. After that is our mage on the... Who is going to have no idea what's going on and is going to stand right there and ready counterspell. because she doesn't really know what to do.
Only thing she knows how to do, apparently.
She may have been casting lots and lots of counterspells, or trying to cast lots and lots of counterspells. Alright, and it's the townsfolk turn. They're all kind of screaming. The extreme outliers are able to kind of run away. Call, you're up. You can move and everything, you just can't see.
Okay. Call is going to try to move. Call also wants to use, I don't know if this will work, but Call wants to try and use Eye for Detail, which is perception checks to spot hidden creatures or objects. So I don't know if that would work in the darkness, but it doesn't say it
if you move out of the sphere, it would work. But for right now, I mean, you could try to make a perception check using just hearing, but with all the shouting and screaming, it would definitely be at disadvantage and a high DC.
Okay. Well, then Call's just gonna try and get out first.
Okay.
I don't know if I can reach Call.
Oh, here, let me.
Will the token prevent me from moving?
Oh, well, which direction do you want to go? Because I somehow grabbed you instead of the giant token on top of you.
Nice. Call wants to move to. Okay, if we're assuming the top of the map is
Top
north,
is
Call
north.
wants to move west.
Okay, there, and then you should be able to do whatever you want. That's 10 feet
There
your
we
movement.
go. Honestly, right now, Call's gonna stick with that, and now wants to use Eye for Detail.
There, that works way better.
Oh, nat 20. Hell yeah!
Okay, you see this guy and this guy and this guy all holding hand crossbows. You can't see any of the people to the east because the sphere of darkness is between you and them. But so in the crowd to the left and the crowd to the south, crowd to the west and the crowd to the south, you do not see any other combatants other than the three that I marked. These three. With a nat 20,
Okay.
you also notice this guy is stealing from the people around him.
Who?
This guy right
Do
here.
again?
He is pickpocketing people as they run by.
God bless. Okay.
He seems
this-
completely
so
careless
the-
about the situation that is happening.
Bless him. Casbreaker energy. Okay, so but the three you marked over on the west are combatants.
Correct.
Okay, and Call's recognized them as combatants, and Call's not just gonna start shooting random people. Right?
They are
not-
holding hand crossbows up.
Okay, cool.
And there
in
are
that
dead
case,
bodies with
Call's
hand
gonna-
crossbow bolts in them. Like,
There we go. Okay. Well, then Call's going to go ahead and start shooting.
Okay.
So, does the platform give me height advantage?
here's what I'm gonna say. They're standing in a crowd, so I would give you disadvantage for that. But you do have height advantage, so it's gonna be a wash.
So it's going to neutralize.
Yes, so it would be a straight roll.
I will take that. I will take it. Okay. So I'm gonna go for dude over on the. They're not labeled, so southwest or west. The guy at the bottom on the west side.
That one? This one right here?
Yeah. Yeah,
Alright, go for it.
that guy. Okay. God damn, I keep rolling shit today. 14.
That's a hit.
Hell yeah. Okay.
You do not get sneak attack on this one though.
I know. Fucking 5.
Okay. Okay. And with that, we got 4 more hand crossbows. That is 1 miss. Boom. 3 more of the guards fall. And I think they're just holding position there. Oh, next is the other ones. Ooh. Ouch. These guards are not durable, by the way. And they are dropping like flies. Also, like, they are just being knocked unconscious, so there is a chance that maybe they're not actually dead, depending on healers and such. Ren, you're up.
Unhappy. He's going to cast Mind Spike. He's going to use a level 3 spell slot, and he's going to twin spell it. So, I'm going to get Magic Lady and that guy.
Okay.
Okay.
You're using 2 level 3 mind spikes. Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking get
So-
it, Ren.
Get it?
Well, let's see. So they have a save DC of 15.
Okay. Magic Lady succeeds.
So she takes half damage.
Oh. The bandit that you also target does not succeed.
Cool. Okay, so that is, I think
4d8.
it's 4d8.
Wait, no, that's... You're casting them at 2nd level, or... Oh, no, that is 3rd level. Yeah, okay.
Third. So
Yeah.
yeah, 4d.
Okay.
Yeah, 48. Okay. Okay.
Oh god, what?
I think I'm about to hear a very loud number, or a very high number.
I'm so dumb. Okay. 25 damage.
Okay, so the bandit is absolutely fucking dead. So
Nice.
25, halved and round down, would be 12 damage to Magic Lady. Okay. With that, it is the guard's turn. Oh, I realize I don't have a... Okay. Actually, it would have been her turn earlier, so this is going to drop. And just real quick, and then she's going to cast... no, she's not going to cast. Alright, your hit still happened, but she is here. And that's...
Well, fuck.
Oh, and she would have made an attack on... Oh. And he's dead. Unconscious. He is actually... she uses a quarterstaff to... Did he not go away? Go away. You jerk.
You went away. The guard?
You went away.
For me, he's not
He's gone.
going
He's
away.
gone for me.
And now I have a please wait. Oh no. Oh no. No. I
Like
may have
everybody seconds.
fucked up. Okay. Well, y'all can still see. So we're just gonna go off of what y'all can see, and I'm just gonna have to be like, oh no. Damn. Okay. I need so many. Trent, hmm. 15. Trent is going to make a swing at the lady who just jumped up there with his short sword.
Did he move up there?
I can't do anything because my thing froze.
Oh, okay.
Trent, are you not? Are you proficient in your own weapons? Trent attempts to, but does not hit the lady. And then Shells is going to. Oh my god. Range spells, please. Shells is going to use Sacred Flame on her as well, which is a Dexterity saving throw. She dodges that. So Chels and Trent both attacked the lady that cast darkness, but both missed. Henry, it is your turn.
Sorry. Is Misty Step in action?
It should show you on your. Misty Step is a bonus action.
It's a bonus action. Okay.
But you can use it if it is just a bonus action. You can use it as an action if you want. If you have another bonus.
To.
Okay.
Who's this guy?
I can't see. What does he look like?
He's next to he's right next to the prisoner. What's his name?
The prisoner, Vist, is flanked
Vist.
by the executioner and Captain Ryan.
Captain Ryan. Okay. And they're both up, right?
They have not been touched as of yet.
Okay. And
you are standing directly next to one of the people with hand crossbows that have been shooting at the guards.
But Homegirl is running towards Vist.
Yes.
I'm going to cast Moonbeam on her.
Okay.
It's a Constitution saving throw of 14.
Yeah, okay.
And on a failed save, take half.
You mean on a successful save?
Yeah, sorry.
She fails. So she'll take full damage.
That is a 10 damage.
Alright.
And take 2 damage. A shape changer makes the saving throw at disadvantage, but wait, they already failed. on each of your turns after you cast a spell, you can use an action. Oh, wait, that's me. It remains for a minute, but I don't know. I thought it would continue giving damage, but I guess not.
Moonbeam. When a creature enters the spell's area for the first time, or on a turn, or starts its turn there, it is ghostly flames that cause searing pain. So it happens if it starts its turn there. It happens again for every turn that it starts in it. All right.
Okay.
Is that all you're gonna do?
And then I also want to Misty Step onto the platform.
Okay. You can take someone with you with Misty Step. So
I
if you
grab
want...
Brent's hand and do that.
All right.
And go between Call and the Magic Lady. So that I'm right next to Lord Commander Ryan, and Ren is between Call and the Magic Lady.
That does mean Call can't shoot the Magic Lady.
I mean, you could be in the 2 squares north of her.
Yeah, let's just do that.
Because then I also get sneak attack.
True.
Yes. Can you move us in there, Ben?
I can't do anything to it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just gonna be right next to.
Okay.
Yeah. Great. Because we can't get in there. But I want to be right here and Ren right here.
Okay.
Cool.
The mage is going to cast Firebolt. Miss
Where
horribly.
is the mage?
Center of the platform at the back. Yeah. She's gonna miss horribly. She does not look used to combat. Townsfolk. The crowd's thin a little bit. I can't do anything to it. Call, that's you.
Okay. Alright. Call is gonna try shooting the lady that cast the spell. And Bronwyn's gonna do that thing where she rolls a whole bunch of d20s while picking one in advance. Okay, that is a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And since it's sneak attack because she's flanked, I get a boatload of fucking damage. Let's see. And 19.
Fucking get it, Call.
19 damage. Just 1 second. She is going to attempt to deflect this missile. So yeah, that's 1d10. You shoot at her, and she does shit on the roll. She reduces the damage by 11. She goes to try and catch the arrow, but mistimes it, and the arrow goes through her hand and still into her shoulder a bit. But
That's awesome.
you get the sense that she was pretty close to actually catching that arrow.
Alright, in that case, Call is also going to take this opportunity for movement and back away from her some.
Alrighty.
Let's see. Hold on. Okay. I'm good.
Okay. So, seeing her predicament, she looks around, kind of makes eye contact with her boys, and with a pained look on her face, looks at Vist, and then it seems like just the shadows that are around just start wreathing around her. She uses a key point to do Step of the Wind, which doubles her movement, which is already 40. Dash action. Bonus action. She's fucking gone. She jumps from there to the roof of the armory, which is the building to the southeast, and is sprinting away faster than you've seen a person run. And also, like, the first time she is out of your vision, like, you look to where you would expect to see her next, and if anybody wants to make a perception check to try and spot her.
Mod 20.
8.
Mod 21.
Fuck. Even with the pass without trace, y'all do spot her as she, like, rounds like a chimney as she is running away, hopping from rooftop to rooftop. She is, at this point, 120 feet away from y'all where she was. But I can't move her, so yeah. The bandits notice her leave, and so the two guys with, like, bandanas on their mouths drop their crossbows to the ground and start trying to run through the crowd. They can only move 3 spaces, so if somebody wants to do that, if somebody wants to try and kill them, they can. And then the thugs, which are the bald guys, are going to go ahead and make 2 more attacks. Fuck up these guards. 2 more of the guards at the front fall.
These guards are literally.
I may have.
Their meat.
Yeah, I kind of nerfed the guards. Or maybe something specific is happening with these crossbow bolts. Who knows?
I love that you just give us so much free information. It's free, really.
I didn't want to roll damage for every single one of these attacks, and most people wouldn't survive a crossbow bolt.
Some people have to be normal.
Some people have to be normal. Ren, you're up.
Okay, so a lot of people are running out of attack range.
The 2 guys with bandanas that are on the west side are 3 spaces west of where they are, because I can't move anything because it's broken. And if I try to refresh the page, it will reset it to the beginning of the encounter, and that'll be just as bad. So yeah. They are fleeing. The 2 bald guys are still shooting. The lady who was doing kind of everything is running away on rooftops and is currently, I suppose, if you are where I think you are, is 125 feet away from you.
125.
Yes.
Fuck.
I mean, you can move.
Yeah, but can I move, like, closer to the rooftop with, like, keeping her in line of sight?
It's already a little difficult to see.
Which direction was she running?
Southeast.
Oh.
Also, she used a special action to disengage, which is why nobody got AOs on her.
I have my chill touch is 120 feet range, and
But
she's
can you just move 5 feet
125.
Can you move 5 feet forward? Can you take your movement to go south?
Yes, I was.
You're supposed to be up there, yeah.
Like there, and then if I move here, I will be just in range for chill touch.
Go for it.
fucking get
I
it.
am that vindictive.
Get it.
Ren is feeling extremely vindictive right now. Okay, so chill touch. And at level
I just
5.
want to let you know she does have light cover, which is going to give a +2 to her AC,
Okay, let's do
like
an AC.
from the rooftops and such.
Okay, so I get a ranged spell attack. At level 5, it increases to 2d8 damage. And then I also have my cantrip wand, which gives me a +1 to spell attacks and +1 to damage, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okie dokie. So let's see. That is okay. Yeah, that's a 24.
Fuck.
So,
My
At,
God.
with the partial cover, she has a 21 AC.
oh god. Okay.
Roll your damage.
Okay, so damage?
Yeah. With 2d8 +1, right?
Yep, 2d8 +1. Okay. That's 11 damage.
Okay.
Okay.
She looks fucked up, and absolutely fucking incredulous that she just got hit at this distance, like halfway behind a chimney. Like even at this distance, you can see the look of disbelief on her face as she looks over after feeling this icy energy hit her in the shoulder.
Okay.
Good job, Ren.
Okay, I'm happy.
Is it my turn?
No, it is the guard's turn. Which I feel like I skipped them last time or something. The guards are going to go towards the two, or actually I think there's like 1.5 guards alive right now. Okay. The executioner is going to swing and
Swing at Vist?
and he ducks out of the way, realizing that Vist is also in play. Captain Ryan is going to grapple him, or attempt to, and my headset is going to try and die on me.
But she...
So Captain Ryan gets a grab onto Vist. I think 2 living guards are going to go towards the bald guy on the west side. I don't know, I can't see. With that, it is Chell's turn. Chell's is going to Sacred Flame the bald guy on the right. And miss horribly. Golly, the hearts are just truly shaken and can't do fucking anything right now. Trent is going to jump over to the same one. I think he can make it there from where he yeah, he can make it there. He's going to also... He will actually fucking hit fucking finally. But I mean... What does it fucking do for him? His damage is... fucking... He stabs the guy through and he falls dead. It is Henry's turn.
So I can use my action to move Moonbeam, and it has a range of 120 feet.
Let me look at that real quick. 45 radius. You can move it 60 feet. It has an initial range of 120, but you can only move it 60.
Lame.
Sorry.
Okay. Who who of the combatants are still alive?
There's the two bandits with the bandanas are 3 squares to the left of where they are, and the one bald bandit on the upper left has 2 of the guards closing in on him, but he's the only one who is actively trying to fight right now. And then Vist is restrained by Captain Ryan.
I'm on the platform. I'm gonna move 2, 5, 10, 15, 25. Oh my god. There's no one to the east, right? Everybody's dead.
Yeah, everyone to the east is dead or has run away. Only one person has run away.
Sorry. Let me move. I wanna I want to cast Sacred Flame at one of the masked homies.
Okay.
I think I can. I can't move, but can I just go for one?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Dexterity saving throw of 14.
Oh. I think he fails. He fails.
Eight. That is a 9.
He
9
drops.
Okay, that's all I'm doing.
After that, the mage casts a firebolt. Fucking 1. This.
Is she back?
No. The mage in green on the platform.
Okay, gotcha.
She's fucking. God, she's fucking useless. I don't think I've rolled over a 5 for her yet.
Not good in combat.
The crowd disperses a little bit more. Call, you're up.
Okay.
The only person actively fighting is the bald guy in the upper left.
Okay. So Paul is gonna go ahead and shoot him. If the crowd dispersed enough to warrant getting sneak attack back for being on the platform.
There is actually a guard that is definitely close enough to have gotten in melee range with him, so you will get sneak attack. And I will say the crowd has. I'll say the crowd is dispersed enough for you to also get advantage because of height.
Hell yeah. Okay. 15 to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll your dumpster of a damage roll.
Yeah. Another 19.
So fucking dead. You shoot, the arrow hits him in the throat and exits out of his back, and he drops choking to the ground.
Christ. Also, can I use, because now things are calming down and people are no longer fighting, can Call go ahead and as a bonus action use Eye for Detail on the pickpocket?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Make an investigation. I can use an investigation check to uncover or decipher clues, maybe?
At this distance, I'm gonna keep it as a perception check. Because you can't really do anything to investigate. Because he's far away from you.
Okay.
And at this point, he has started leaving with everybody. Still pickpocketing, but.
Yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, that was only a 7.
You intentionally go to look for him, and you don't even see him anymore. He has slipped into the crowd. That being said, it is now the bandit's turn. The lady who cast darkness and then took off, once again just shows an incredible, disgusting amount of speed and moves another 120 feet away. You lose sight of her, and I mean, if you want to make a perception check at disadvantage to try and spot her, you can.
You know, it's funny, he did have Mind Spike on her, which means that he knows her location, but the thing is, like, I don't think he can get up there and catch up
Is
to her,
that
so...
even if she succeeds the save? Because
you're
she
right, no.
saved. Yeah, the bandit didn't and got
Yeah,
absolutely
correct, yeah.
eviscerated. The
Yeah,
bandit's
she saved
head
against that.
exploded after you cast Mind Spike. Like, there's blood and viscera.
So
But
anyway,
yeah,
she saved
and then the other bandit is going to try and blend in with the crowd as he tries to run away. If anybody wants to try and kill the last man who is fleeing, it is Ren's turn, and you'll have to make a perception check to see him.
Let's do a perception check. 16.
Let me check. No, fuck, meets it, beats it. You see him. That's definitely within 120 feet.
No touch.
I'm making sure what I can do. Yeah, if I want to use a spell slot, I can go up to 3d8. I want to use a spell slot.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry, how many feet away is he?
Less than 120. He is.
Less than 60?
He is 30 feet to the left of where he is right now.
Okay, yeah, he's in range. Let's do... Yeah, let's do Mind Spike at level 2. I really like that one. And so that is, he gets
a wisdom saving throw, right?
Yeah, 15.
I have to check his wisdom modifier to find out if this hits or not. Surprisingly enough, bandits do not get any bonus to their wisdom, and with the natural 14 I rolled, his head explodes.
Okay, do you want me to roll for it?
No, he's dead.
Okay. Okay.
And with that, I'm going to just close out of Dungeon Fog because it has forsaken me. Okay, we will just pick up immediately as I just hit my finger and it popped and it hurt really bad. Ow. We will pick up immediately as the encounter is dropping out next time, because I am sorry, Bronwyn, that it is way past midnight.
Yeah, I lost a lot of sleep tonight.
I'm sorry.
It's a work night and it's almost 1 a.m. So I'm gonna log off now rather than chit chat. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay.
She meant now.
She did.
Jenny, are you
Oh,
working
boy.
tomorrow?
Hmm?
Are you working tomorrow?
I'm actually on disability leave for the foreseeable future, so I'm not working for a hot minute. Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
It's all good. It's all good. We'll see if my paperwork goes through.
We didn't talk about Chell's Gator.
Fuck yeah!
Literally. Well, tomorrow, Ben and I have a babysitter starting at 6. So we could potentially start playing at 7.
If y'all are ready for another one tomorrow.
I would rather play than go see Spider-Man. Because our plan was to go see Spider-Man, but I want to play. I want to fuck one of the hearts.
Y'all can go see Spider-Man.
like I have a little. I don't have a session worth. Um, I know you want to
There is
play.
no pressure. There is no pressure. Y'all should see.
There's no.
Y'all should see Spider-Man.
I I don't see how I would have any chance to prepare anymore before tomorrow, before game time.
Yeah. You're right.
I don't want to try to cram in the preparation between like 6 and 8. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I will end up with plot holes, and that is not how I want to do this. So I am sorry, but I don't think we can do tomorrow. If we want to,
Really good.
if we want to go see Spider-Man and then come back, and if everybody is on and or if everybody is willing, we could have another shoot the shit session.
I
But
do like shoot the shit sessions.
no full session.
We got a lot in today. That was awesome. I got to blow up somebody's head.
Twice.
So I'm happy.
Y'all, when Henry looked at Charles and she was like, "This isn't what's supposed to happen," she is good in his book.
We'll see.
I mean, I know that she could turn out to be bad, but in Henry's state, he was like, "Friend."
This is not charitable of me, because like, come on, a man was condemned to death for it. But when we saw like Chels like doing her like her panic motions and stuff and freaking out and doing her anxiety thing, a part of me is just so pleased because it's like,
That's what you get.
yeah, like no shit. What did you think was gonna happen?
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah.
God. Okay. So.
Asher agrees with you. Henry is under her spell now.
Okay. Okay. Let's see, because Ren saw that too, at least like, not necessarily reading her lips, but he saw her like doing her her stretch
Freak
motions.
out, yeah.
Yeah, so she still wasn't happy about it.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Like, how was this supposed to go then? And why was he being accused of like every crime that had been committed in the city?
Yeah.
Like, is he a scapegoat for everything?
I know, that was crazy that it was everything. And I think I think she was expecting there to be a trial, because that's what Ben said last session, was that Zerka and Shells were expecting a trial, and they were both happy about that. But then Andrew's like, execution. And then everything was pinned on him. And so I think that maybe might be what she probably was going to be like. I mean, they didn't have any evidence that he was for the library, like, breaking into the library. It was just that he had stolen goods on him. So I don't think she thought that he was actually going to die. I just thought that she probably just thought that he was going to be imprisoned for a while, which in her book is probably fine.
I don't know. Like, what does she think happens, when she uses people like this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
By the way, the Alphonse Elric guy, remove the helmet and instead place a bald head with very tribal looking tattoos. That straight up just is the guy with the fist insignia.
Well, Alphonse Elric is just a suit of armor. If you take off his helmet, there's nothing inside.
Okay.
He's a ghost. Kind of.
Alphonse.
Spirit?
He's got spirit. We love Alphonse.
Yes, he does. Yes, we do. Even though he took all the height.
He did.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and Bronwyn even messaged me and said, don't have another bonus scene without me. My poor girl. Oh my god.
Could Henry have noticed that Chels was using Sacred Flame? Because Henry also has Sacred Flame.
Yeah.
Henry's definitely going to ask. What god do you serve?
I believe y'all knew that that both of them had like religious training. That's definitely some of the. Wait, maybe y'all didn't know that.
We didn't know that. Maybe the other group knew that.
Bronwyn knows it.
Oh.
Hmm?
Apparently, Chels and Trent have religious training.
Interesting.
Which
But
Henry just learned that Chels is either a paladin or a cleric. So
I know that from my paladin and cleric stuff, but I didn't know that about Chels. So, and we haven't seen her using a sword, so
nope,
she's probably a cleric, right?
yeah.
Fascinating.
you don't know.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, y'all don't know that they had religious training. Henry and Ren do not know that Chels and Trent have had religious training.
Okay.
I think that was secret information that I accidentally just revealed. So
There are secrets that I don't know, and it's making me insane.
there is so much shit that y'all don't know. Yeah, oh my god. I
I
did
can
not
feel the weight of it.
I
Me too.
didn't think uh, Ash, one of how I often say, there's this thing I want to talk to you about, and like I'm upset because I don't even think that it'll ever come out. But it was the fact that Esley is a Yuan-Ti. I I was like, there is a there is a very high likelihood that y'all will just never learn that.
Henry doesn't know.
Henry doesn't know. Henry looked away.
If Call or Ren had reacted more visibly, Henry would have asked, "What was she like, really hot or something?" But neither of them really reacted, so he's like, "Oh, he just didn't ask any questions." I will say that in that scene where Henry just kind of was like, let's kill Ander. His he did a perception check earlier to see if anybody was listening and got super, I think got a 3. So Henry looked around and didn't see that anybody was listening, but also I knew that Esley was a UNT and I kind of wanted her to hear Henry. So it just worked out. It worked out in my favor. Also, I'm kind of upset that you and Bronwyn didn't get to see all of what Henry did because it didn't end up being anything that needed to be secret, but it could have been.
So yeah, actually, I'm gonna I'm gonna actually put that in the chat. So if Bronwyn and Jenny, if you want to go back and watch it, you can.
Yeah, nothing secret happened.
I'm gonna stop.